Hey everyone, back from auto assembly. It's been and gone for another year already, and I'm already feeling a little bit down because of that. But it was an amazing weekend, absolutely amazing. Better than last year's, and I thought last year's was good, and which was then better than the year before that. It just seems to get better every year. It always seems to start off badly though, for me personally, travelling wise. The first year on the motorway there was a big closure and diversion. Last year we were stuck in more local traffic at this end of the journey, and then this year it was every motorway I had to go onto was congested. So it should be about an hour and 20 minutes to get to Birmingham, and it always takes about 3 hours. I was tearing my hair out by the end of it, and I think Rob was getting sick of hearing this because I had this playing in the car, and it should have only gone round on the second loop by the time we got there, and I think we ended up hearing the whole thing about 4 times. So he knows all the songs, does Rob, and he hasn't even seen the film yet. But when we did get there, it was all good. Stayed at the Hilton this year, which I haven't done before, and I tell you what, that made things so much easier. And it meant we could stay late and stuff like that, whereas before we had to shoot off and stuff like that. So it just meant it could be a bit more social this year, and I spoke to a lot more people. I still spoke to the same people I spoke to before, but then I got to meet a load more people that I either met very, very briefly or hadn't spoken to at all previous years, so that was really good. I remember actually staying up on I think it was a Saturday night, and I was absolutely knackered, but I didn't want to go to bed because I knew that meant Sunday would seemingly come quicker, and then that would mean the end of the convention would come quicker. And so I just sat there in the bar with Rob, and I wasn't even talking to him much. I was that tired, but I wanted it to last longer, so I might come for an extra day next year, like maybe get home on the Monday or something. Not sure, it depends what finances are like then. You don't know what it's going to be like in a year's time. But yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. Anyone who hasn't been, just go. Whatever your preconceptions are, just go. You won't regret it. So yeah, I better show you what I bought then, really, hadn't I? That's probably what you're watching this for, not me waffling on or anything. I'm going to try and keep this shorter than last year's, because last year's was horrendously long, but I'm making no promises. So we'll start with the artwork, because I got some artwork this year. I'd meant to get some last year, and I just didn't get around to seeing anything that I particularly wanted, and I hadn't got any commissions or anything like that. But this year I got something from Ed Perry. And it wasn't strictly a commission, but he was doing lots of little A5 sketches that he was putting up online of stuff that he was going to be taking with him to AA. And I saw this particular one, and straight away I was like, yeah, I've got to have that. So I sent him a message on Facebook and said, can you save it for me? And he was like, yeah, no problem. It was always going to be that one, wasn't it? It wasn't going to be anyone else. Iron Fist and Verity. But not only that, as quite a few people seem to have done this year, quite a few people have got art from Ed and then done this. I then got in contact with John Paul Beauvais a couple of weeks before the convention and asked him if he would colour it for me as well. So he got the scan of the image from Ed Perry and did me this. Blew it up to A4 size and did an amazing job colouring it. It's absolutely brilliant. So I was well happy with that. That's going to go in a frame at some point soon, when I've got some money again, because I spent a lot of money. But you've got to, haven't you? You've got to. What's the point in going otherwise? Well, I say that, you can. I think you need to take a lot of money, personally, but if you haven't got the money and you still want to come along for more of the social side of things and not a lot of toy buying. That's fair enough. I don't think I couldn't go without a lot of money though, because I want everything. But also off actually Ed Perry, he was doing these Wreckers postcards. So I got the whole set. And all 4 of those were like a £5. I was surprised actually, because I was speaking to him when I picked them up, and I said I'll take all 4, and he was like, "Oh, you're the first person to take the complete set," which I found very strange, because why not get all 4? It's only £5. So I might put those in a frame as well at some point. Have some. The walls are still bare in here. I've got a couple of pictures of other stuff that I've got framed waiting to come on the wall, and I just haven't got around to it, so I need to really pull my finger out there. But that's it in terms of non-plastic. So we'll move on to the toys now, because that's what you probably really want to see, isn't it? I got one thing that wasn't intended for me, and I have to do this every year. I've said this before on previous haul videos from AA. I have to bring back a Bumblebee every year for my friend Emma. And there's one in particular that she's been asking me to try and get her for basically 2 years now, and I never see one, or not one that's worth getting anyway. But this year, thanks to my friend John, who I was staying in the hotel with, who spotted this, finally got the ultimate Bumblebee, which is the one she was really after. I can't stand movie Bumblebee, but yeah, it's not for me, so this is only going to be in the house for another day or 2 probably. So yeah, that wasn't for me. Everything else is mine. Oh, it's mine. So I'll start with the stuff that I got off like non-dealers, so off other people at the convention. And I got, first of all, something very little. Well, I didn't pick this up till the Sunday. I got this off Raz because he was selling a few things before the convention, and I spotted something amongst all the stuff he had that I really needed. It's only a little thing. It's just Target Master pinpointer. But I've got a G1 Crosshairs who's got the wrong gun, because I stupidly swapped it when I was 7-8 years old or whatever, to the kid down the street, and then when I decided that maybe I did want the proper one after all, he'd already broken it by that point, so I couldn't get it back. I think he snapped one of the arms off. So yeah, about 20 odd years later, my Crosshairs finally has his proper gun. So thank you very much to Raz for that. What else did I get off other people? I got AS from Ian. He knows I quite like collecting female Transformers, and so he just gave me a couple that he had. I'm not overly familiar with this one. Never really seen it before, but this is Beast Wars Sonar. And he also gave me, I think this is the Armada version. I think it's Armada or Universe, or I don't know. It's from one of those lines I'm not really familiar with, but this is a recolour of the Transmetal Air Razor. And the Minicon as well on the wing. And he also gave me another Minicon. I can't remember the name of this one, if it has a name. Again, apparently it's a female Minicon. I think he said it belongs to Pterosaur. I think that's right. I might be wrong. But yeah, I think that's where he said it came from. And then I think there's just one other thing I was given by someone else, and this was quite funny. I think it was it Saturday? Sometime on a Saturday, Anton came up to me and he said, this is exactly what he said. He said, "I'm about to buy the shittiest thing ever." And he went over to the table that's got all the third party stuff on it, or a lot of third party stuff, and he bought the cassette beast cage, which is, I think, originally intended to put your masterpiece Ravage in, like they have him in the More Than Meets the Eye episode of the G1 cartoon. And he bought himself one. He goes, I don't know why I'm buying it. The Ravage is still in the box. We was having a good laugh about that. And anyway, it was Sunday morning. He just came up to me and handed me another one and goes, I got you this. I have made a promise to him, there's something I've got to do with this, and I won't reveal it now, but I'll put it on the next video, I think, because he's picked something else up for me today. The man is a legend. He's an absolute legend. I'll say that now. The man is a legend. But there's something he's picked up for me today, and when I get that, I'll do a video about that, and the intentions for this, I think, will become clear at that point. Yeah, I think that's all the stuff I've got. Everyone else. Oh, there is one thing I missed. There's like, it's not toy. Well, it is toys and it isn't toys. My mini box collection. I didn't buy this. Again, I got this signed last year by Dan Gilvezan, because Bumblebee's in this set, and this year I got Michael McConaughey to sign it because he played Cosmos. So I'm trying to collect all the autographs of these characters on the set. I know I can't get, I think it's Gears and Huffer, because the actors are sadly no longer with us. But I just need Powerglide and Warpath from the potential ones I could still get. I'm not too hopeful about Warpath because I think if I remember right, he was voiced by Alan Oppenheimer, and I've just got a funny feeling we're not going to get someone like that over here. He's quite old as well. I think he's in his 80s now, so I'm not sure I don't know. Maybe I'm presuming too much, but I don't think I'm going to get that one. I can't remember who does Powerglide's voice. Again, I know they both do conventions in America, so you never know. But yeah, so I've got that autographed again this year. That was the only thing I got autographed this year. I wasn't too fussed about getting anything else signed, really. I did take my issue 100 of Regeneration 1, thought about getting like the whole creative team to sign it, but I just couldn't be bothered in the end. I wasn't that fussed about it. I've got signed copies of other issues of Regeneration 1. If I start regretting it, maybe I'll take it next year or something. Just moving stuff out of the way. So now it's just really the plastic that I bought for myself. I'll work my way up, I think. No, actually I won't. I'll try and do it in a vaguely sort of chronological order. Maybe I'll leave the best thing till last. First thing I got, and I kind of knew I was getting this in a roundabout way. It turned out in the end. I did my must-haves, would be nice and all that jazz video recently, and I mentioned I wanted a Robot Masters Reverse Convoy. And it's Reverse Convoy. So I like the head. The head sculpt on this is great, I think. My camera probably won't focus. Oh no, there we go. There we go. But then it also has the Megatron head. So there we go. It's Megatron as well. It's a fun little gimmick. And now the camera won't focus. I can't be bothered to mess around with the camera. Yeah. So yeah, I got this from the fan sales table, although it was from Andy, Cobra Commander. Because he'd mentioned on my video, he commented that he had one and did I want it, and I said yeah, I'll take it off you. And then I think he brought a few things that he'd forgotten who wanted what, and so put it on the fan sales table. And luckily Pred knew this. I'm not sure how, there's obviously conversation gone on before I got there on the Friday, and he kind of grabbed hold of me and said that Reverse Convoy, Andy's put it on the fan sales table. And I spoke to Andy as well, and he was pretty cool. So basically when we went in on the Saturday morning, I just went over there and got there straight away, pretty much. So yeah, that was really the only thing I thought I was definitely going to get, because this year there's a few things I want and they're just not been released quite in time for this convention. So I didn't really go in with like something in mind, as it were, other than this. I've been after this for probably best part of a year now, and I just haven't been able to find one anywhere. So I was really glad to pick this up. It's a nice toy, actually. It's very, very simple. It's based on I think it's the G2 Combat Hero Megatron mould, just with some slight tweaks with the heads, obviously, to fit the gimmick. So yeah, really happy with that one. Don't normally do convoys or primes, but I like this one. I like Lio Convoy as well, who I've already got. The other sort of reasonably sized purchase I made on the Saturday, I managed to find myself a Collectors Club Punch Counterpunch, the genuine one as well. I made sure it was the real deal before I bought it, because if it's a knockoff, they have like the CHMS logo down in the bottom corner on the box. But I've wanted one of these for a while. I missed out on it because I didn't know about the Collectors Club back when this was released, and it's I think it's still one of the fastest selling toys they've ever done. So you don't see them too often, and when you do, they're sort of sometimes a bit silly money. But I got this for 60 quid, which isn't too bad, I suppose, for what it is. Especially, as time goes on, they're only going to increase probably. So yeah, I was happy to find that one. And then what else did I get? I got for like a £5, I got the Micromaster Rescue Patrol, and I've always wanted this. This is the like that I quite like my Micromasters, but I've never managed to get the Rescue Patrol. And I've on eBay they're like £10-15 for the set, and it's like I don't want them that badly. But it was a set the one set I wanted as a child that I didn't get. I got most of the ones I wanted. It was mostly for Stakeout. I always really liked Stakeout, and he of course went on to be the same model effectively for Holly in Victory. So that was another reason I'm a big fan of Victory. So that was but that was just a £5 from the Space Bridge. They had loads of Minicon teams and Micromaster teams just pinned up on almost like a board, and it's just like £5 for each little set. What else I get? I think the only other thing I bought on the Saturday was I got the TFCon Pestilence cassette. I've taken it out to have a little mess around with it, and he's really, really nice. I like the paint on this. This was an exclusive back at TFCon a month or two ago, and I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh damn, I really like that, because I like my cassettes, as you all know. And I looked on eBay actually just after TFCon finished, and I couldn't actually see anyone selling one, so I didn't think I was ever going to get that. And I was just on my way out of the hall somewhere, and just happened to stop at the end table where they had like all the exclusive, like the AEA exclusives, and a few other like last year's ones as well. And they had a couple of those on there, so I was like, yoink, I'll have that. I didn't get the exclusives this year. I like the ones last year, the Manuel X and the Basil Z. But this year's ones were, from my point of view, not really that interesting. I'm not a fan of Mario or anything like that, so I'm not a massive fan of animated either. I know a lot of people really like animated. I've watched basically most of season 1, and it's just not, it's okay, but it's not really drawing me in and making me want to just sit there and watch loads of it. Maybe I need to sort of get on to the later series before it gets good, but yeah, so I wasn't really that fussed with the exclusives this year, so I didn't bother. They were £65 for the pair, and well, if they'd have been half that, I might have, just for curiosity's sake, got them, but they were never going to be that kind of price. So yeah, didn't bother with those this year. And that was it for the Saturday. the reason why I didn't spend a lot on Saturday will become apparent later on as we get through this. I got on the Sunday, I got more from the fan sales table, because I was just using up my money right at the end. I got a couple of things right at the end. I got a Henkei Bumblebee for a tenner. I've been sort of thinking about getting one of these, or the United one, for a while, because I'd quite like to get one and then get the Gold Bug upgrade set for it, the Growing Pains by, is it Beazle Boss or something like that? I don't know how easy that is to get hold of these days, but I think that looks really cool, so saw that for a tenner right at the end of the day and was like, yeah, why not? But I was actually just about to pay for that. I had the money out and everything, just like took a £10 note out of my wallet and was about to pay for that, and Pred was at the table as well with his wife Trish, and she was kind of moving. I was right next to her, and she kind of moved something with her hand, and it drew my eye to where her hand was. I saw this for £7, Cybertron Override, and I saw it was Dave Shotton got one of the normal coloured version, the Nitro Convoy version rather, from Action Jackman a couple of months ago. And I remember seeing it thinking, oh, that looks quite nice, I wouldn't mind one of those, and then just completely forgot all about it, and then literally just had my eye drawn to this and was like, I think I'll have that as well while I'm at it. £7. So yeah, that was good. And just before that, I'd got one other thing. I was torn between two things on Toy Fu. So they had quite a few of the BotCon toys this year, and like previous BotCon toys as well. And I'm a bit of a sucker for exclusives. Well, I've already shown you the Collectors Club, Punch Counter Punch, and the TF Con Pestilence. So yeah, they had a few BotCon toys on Toy Fu, and I was kind of torn between two. I like that Fire Guts Jinrai, the orange Classics Optimus, but it was £70, which was quite reasonable actually, because it was on another stand for like I think 100 or 120 or something. So £70 was quite reasonable, I thought, for a BotCon toy out of the this year's set. And it came down to like I could get that and nothing else at that point, or I could get what I actually got and have a few quid left over, and that's why they let me go to the fan sales table then and buy the Bumblebee in the Override. So in the end, that's what swayed my decision, and I got Flare Up from this year's BotCon. It's a redeco of the Prime RC mould in orange, red and black, and it's really nice. I like the mould as well. I mean, I've got the RC, and I'll get the Chromia when it comes out later this year, which is basically like a heavy retooling of the mould as well. But yeah, she's really nice. I think she was £40, which is a lot of money for Prime RC mould effectively, but it's BotCon toys, and you pay a premium for those. So yeah, she's really nice, got that. Eventually I got that. I was sort of umming and ahhing over which one to get for ages. Right. There's only one thing left to show you now. And some of you already know what's coming. Oh god. Right, I walked past this. Well, I saw this on the Saturday on Toy Fu again. I saw this very early on the Saturday and was like drawn to it fairly early on. But it was a lot of money, and I didn't want to spend like basically what was roughly half my budget on the first 5 minutes, and then maybe see something else, because there was a few things that potentially were going to be expensive that I was sort of half keeping an eye out for. The San Diego Comic-Con Dinobots I mentioned in the previous video, but I didn't think they'd be a reasonable price, and bloody hell, I wasn't expecting how much they really were. I was thinking we're going to be looking at 150 to 175 maybe, and they wanted 275 quid for them, and it's just like, fuck that. Excuse my French, but really, come off it. Those were selling up for like 100 quid at Comic Con, and I know there's all the extras that go with it, and they got to make a profit, but that was just flat out taking the piss. So yeah, that was like, no, not doing that. And as I said before, there's nothing like high end that I was really looking for, because like things like Masterpiece Wheeljack, it hasn't been released yet. So there wasn't that one thing like the big purchase item that I was out to get especially. So I waited for a while to pull the trigger on this next one, and I walked past it so many times on a Saturday, and on the Sunday I started walking past it as well. And it got to the point where I'd been telling a few people that I had it in mind, and every so often someone would come up to me and say, it's still there, it's still there. So I was checking it was still there, other people were still checking it was there, and then I still hadn't decided that I was kind of like 80% of the way there to buying it, and I walked past it again on the Sunday, probably quite early on the Sunday, just maybe about 11 o'clock, and the guy on Toy Fu was stood right next to it, and he had a big roll of bubble wrap out, and I was like, no, someone's buying it now, and basically had a mini heart attack, only to find out the person was buying a Shockwave, and he was just using the bit of the table next to it to wrap it up with. So I breathed a big sigh of relief, and it was at that point that I knew that basically I was going to have to buy it, because if my reaction was like quite strong with like instant remorse that I hadn't bought it by that point, I knew that basically you should just go and buy it. So yeah, I went over at that point. I said to Anton as well, I'm going to do it now, and he's caught the whole thing on film. I think he's going to post the footage at some point because it's quite funny. But yeah, I bought the monstructor that Toy Fu had. I'm being very careful with this because it's got like the chest, and one of the arms is just like about 50% gold plastic, so I daren't move anything on it. And he's really small actually. You don't realise how small this is. I'll get something for a size comparison, because I've never seen the actual combined form before. If I get Bruticus down, who's kind of like, an average sized Scramble City combiner. Let's do this very carefully. So here's Bruticus. This is your Scramble City, generic combiner size. Here's Monstructor. He's teeny tiny. He's about half the size of Bruticus. So yeah, and I got it was 100% complete. You got the combined form here, obviously. I've got a little bag with all the individual guns in for each of the individual robots. Then I've got all the shells. So you've got the Wildfly, Bristleback, who's my favourite, but I can never play with because he's gold plastic. Bird Brain, Slog, Ice Pick, and Scowl. I know all their names. I didn't even know all their names before. So yeah, that was kind of like my my big splurge at the convention. And the guy was like really happy as well when I said I walked up to him, and just before I bought it I said, I want your monstructor please, and he took a moment to sort of register what I just asked for, because it had been obviously sat there the whole weekend and it's there. I think it was the most expensive thing they had with them, and he just looked at me and went, I love you. I think he was like very happy because it was like the money goes on Toy Food, so the money goes to charity. So he was quite excited by the fact that, you know, the money would go a long way to helping all these people and that. So not only was I getting something stupidly rare and, well, yeah, but the money was going to a good cause as well, so that makes it a little bit easier to stomach. I'm going to put that down now because I'm terrified of GPS on something so expensive. But yeah, that was my my big purchase. They even I got chased down after I'd walked away a little bit. Handed the sticker, the price sticker as well, as a bit of a souvenir. I actually know one of the guys who works on the Toy Food stall, Matt, through like an online role-playing game that I used to play on and admin on for a while years ago. Now I don't really do it anymore, but every year I've sort of spoken to him briefly, like online, and said I'm going to say hello to you at AA this year, and then for whatever reason it never happens. So not only did I buy that, I got to chat to Matt as well, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, a few people think I was mad for spending that kind of money on those, but I just like stuff that's a bit unique and a bit rare. I mean, I've got a few things like the road seizure and that you don't see very often, so there wasn't anything else that was really grabbing me, and so I thought, well, why not? You only live once, as long as I don't bloody break the thing. I actually have already got a complete wildfly, belonged to my brother, but it's mine. I've got it now. So yeah, technically I've got two of these now. But yeah. God. Oh, mental. Absolutely mental. I don't regret it, which I think potentially makes it even worse. But yeah, I'm happy with what I bought. That's all I got altogether. I didn't get anything else. Spent basically my entire budget. I think I came back with about 11 quid in my pocket, which I bought a kebab with when I got home because I couldn't be arsed to cook last night. So yeah, that was what the last of my money went on. But yeah, it was the car drive home was a bit of a downer, because I had such a good time this year. It was just like I didn't want to leave everyone, whereas before I haven't really like talked and socialised to that level where I felt like that. I mean, this year was the first year we did the Saturday night programme. The first year I went, I wasn't really bothered about things like that. I was all about buying the toys the first year. Last year I was a bit more social, but we left on the Saturday evening to go to the cinema. There's a story behind that, but I won't get into it. So staying in the hotel and then sort of doing the Saturday night programme, it meant got to stick around a hell of a lot more and just sort of loaf around at the bar when there's nothing going on and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really, really good. And then coming home on the Sunday night, it was just a bit of a downer because it was all over again so quickly, having like really built up to it. So I'm already looking forward to next year. Might do an extra day next year to try and make up for that. Might stay like the Sunday night and go on the Monday instead. I think I might come up earlier on the Friday as well, because try and dodge this traffic. It's odd though, because I wouldn't expect it to be that busy at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But obviously I know nothing about such things. So yeah, that's AA done and dusted for another year. Yeah, can't wait for next year. So thank you for watching. It was really great to meet everyone I spoke to. I'm not going to list everyone because I'm going to forget someone. There was that many, but you were all brilliant. And you know, whether I already knew you or whether I was meeting you for the first time, just amazing. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here now because I'm just rambling and I'm still tired. It's so tiring, isn't it, AA? It's hard work buying toys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.